Hello, everyone, and welcome to Week 8 of Season 2 of EGFH in Overwatch. Today, we are live with games from the Alaska region, and we are in the final week of the regular season. We're going to have this match today between the Cordova Wolverines and the Alaska Playmakers. I want to start off by thanking our sponsors, the Yukon Gaming Club, the Yukon School of Engineering, and Mob Crush for making this season possible. Now to get into the game, I am Victor Vic Sharp-Watney, and I'm going solo for map number 1 before I will be joined by Gorka for the rest of the series. Now, to cover map pool real quick, we will be doing Overwatch League format, which is hybrid, assault, control, escort, and then a tiebreaker on control. And the maps we are going to be playing today are Nubani, Volskaya Industries, Oasis, Rialto, and then Busan for that tiebreaker. But we're going to get into this first map on Nubani. The Playmakers and the Wolverines, we've seen both teams on stream quite a bit this season. Both have had very strong performances. Cryptarctic, Starflight, and Frozen Scope being some of the ones that we've seen really stand out at times for the Wolverines, whereas Italy, Victor, and I believe Haji, of the three players we've seen from the Playmakers, really make things happen. So the Playmakers have played around with some different rosters this season, so we'll have to see how this map goes for them. But we're going to start off with the Wolverines on the defensive here, looking like they're going Genji, Mercy, the Junkrat, Reinhardt, Diva, and Brigitte to round out their composition. It's going to be interesting to see what the Playmakers decide to go into this. It's a very strong defense if they can keep top, if Starflight can keep raining down damage as this Junkrat, and it is just a standard 2-2-2 comp from the side of the Playmakers, so we'll just kind of have to see. They get the first few rounds early, as it looks like the Wolverines are just going to defend on point, and they're going to go around for the side, try and see if they can find anything here. They're up top fairly quickly and fairly uncontested. This could be good for the Playmakers, as they're just going to start raining damage down onto the point, really try and get there. The Genji's going in from Cryptarctic, and Starflight picks up the first kill onto the Zenyatas, so the support going down from the Playmakers. They have to back out just a little bit. They do have a Junkrat behind them, and now they should know that, but they're kind of split up on both sides. Spike is going to go down. The Mercy falling is pretty huge, but the Zenyatta is going to fall again. So one support down aside. The Diva Mech going down. Wasting's going to fall. Brigitte falls, and it's only the support traded for pretty much the entire team of the Wolverines as Cryptarctic falls on the Genji, and point A should fall fairly quickly here. Starflight's going to get staggered a little bit there in a fairly clean offensive push here from the Playmakers, as they were able to find that early kill onto Spike, translate it into getting Frozen Scope out of mech quickly. And yes, they didn't have supports, but they didn't need it when the rest of their damage comes around. So now the payload's pushing here. We're seeing the Reinhardts just dueling shields, and it's a smart move from the Wolverines to back up a little bit here, allow the payload to get towards this turn, see what the Genjis look to do as Jayza looks to go into the backside of the Wolverines here, getting back around. It is Wasting that's going to fall first. Victor picks up that kill as the Diva bomb is going to come through, but is it going to be able to get anything? Spike's down, so the res is not available for the Wolverines. Frozen Scope does fall. Genji gets one, but the rest of his team is dead. Meanwhile, Cryptarctic, the last one alive, and once again, another fight just going in favor. Wasting getting picked off early that time around. Spike not really being able to do much of anything in that fight. They keep getting the Zenyatta down, but it just doesn't matter, as the rest of the Playmakers have been there to do the damage. We see 3 ult to 3 ult, so no ult economy advantage, but this is going to be a fairly free second point after one fight. 5.5 minutes, so Noctis getting taken down quickly, getting just hooked there by Victor, and not having the Lucio. Wasting going down as well. They're trying to get onto point to at least stop the progress, but they're losing members forward. Spike's down. Frozen Scope is going to get demeched, and Baby Diva can't survive much against the onslaught that is coming. Gonna try and get around into the building to stay alive. We hear the Rip Tower coming around, trying to get something. It's gonna drop right onto the Zenyatta. This poor Zenyatta is the target of the Wolverines, but the rest of the team is fine with that. Frozen Scope's finally gonna fall. Starflight pays for the kill, and that's 2 members staggered here as the Playmakers are gonna keep pushing. They get a hook onto Cryptarctic to take another one down. and they still have 4 or 5 ult strong. They can keep pushing this in. The offense is going very strong. Victor is behind them. The only one without ult doesn't need it. Wasting's going to be the first one to fall. And now Solnoctis just trying to stay alive as Lucio kite around them. Get the boops again. Spike is going to go down though. It's the ultimate coming down from Jayza. He does get 2 with the Dragon Blade. Sandman falls in the back to Cryptarctic, but once again, Cryptarctic is the last one standing, and it's up to Wasting to get onto point. It's going to be a great ult from the Reinhardt, but it's just a delay as a fast offensive first push from the Playmakers come through. They didn't give time to breathe, and they didn't need it. That was a fairly dominating offense coming out from the Alaska Playmakers to start this, actually gaining total time if they are forced to go again. And it's a big task from the Wolverines now. That was a fast pace, and just nothing they seem to do could stop the Playmakers in that push. It really, that's a reset that needs to come out from the Wolverines here before they go on their offensive, because the tactic that they came into this map with did not work in that first one. They just continuously got caught off. Spike getting killed nearly every time in the early, and Wasting just not really having anything to do in most of that fight. The one Reinhardt ult we saw was at the end when the point was, or the payload was at point 3 ready to finish the map. It's going to be interesting. It doesn't look like they're going for any changes. Still Noctis maybe being the one on the Mercy this time instead of Spike, but it was still a very similar comp, and Frozen Scope didn't have much to do on the Diva, but on the side of the Playmakers, they know it works now. They like what they're doing. This is a pretty big adjustment though. Victor now on Zarya with a Brigitte, Reinhardt, Tracer, Ana, and McCree. Now Sandman didn't have to do much on that McCree on the offensive side, so it'll be interesting to see if he can get anything going on the defensive side, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be any changes from what the Wolverines were looking to run. So they're going to run with what they've been sitting in base with. And just once again, the defense going to be posturing up at point, not going to try any forward defensive here. Feels like they are comfortable with Tracer just spotting them out a little bit, trying to get damage. And the Zarya just up top trying to get, it's actually a low offensive coming in from the Wolverines. They're just trying to rush right onto the point. They do get Italy first, but Wasting dies with him, so Noctis is going to fall to Sandman. And once again, the Mercy getting picked off early could be trouble. Cryptarctic's going to fall to Victor, and now the Zarya can just stay in the front line, not going to have any worries. Starflight falls, Spike falls, it's pretty much just Frozen Scope, and is being forced back, needs to stay alive and not get staggered. The first push gonna be denied here. The Playmakers defense looking solid to start. It was a interesting Rhine v Rhine that got them both killed, but it was just advantage Playmakers for them to do that. It looks like the Wolverines are going to try the high stairs this time around, get in there, but the Playmakers know it's coming. Rhine shields just matching each other in the building, causing the Wolverines to go around the other side, come right back up the middle again, and Starflight's going to be the first one picked off. Sandman getting the picks on this McCree right now. Spike is above the team, just trying to deal or get this healing that this Lucio can, and we do see Italy have to drop the shield for a little bit. Haji falls to Cryptarctic in the back line that Genji can start doing some work. The Ana being down might be the go button. Sandman gonna fall as well. Cryptarctic now feels comfortable enough to jump in, uses the Dragon Blade, is on to Victor. Victor's gonna be the one to fall, and now it's just 3 members left. So Noctis and Wasting both fall, but Cryptarctic is able to get 2 more with that Dragon Blade, and that will be enough. With 2 minutes to go, they're going to cap point A. The second push enough. Cryptarctic doing a lot of work in the back line, just doing anything that Genji likes to do at that point, just picking off people. Sandman and Jayza, I believe, were picked off early in that skirmish, and allowing Cryptarctic to have freedom, not being scared of the Ana sleep when you pull out the Dragon Blade is so key for the Genji in that situation. The Diva bomb, or that was Tracer bomb, excuse me, picks up Spike. Cryptarctic also falls as well, and now with 2 members down, Spike is going to get rezzed by Solnoctis, so the healers are back up, but Cryptarctic is still down. The ult from Wasting gets 2. The High Noon is going to come out. Spike is going to be the first one down from that. Solnoctis is being jumped on by the Tracer. Cryptarctic is back in this fight, but Wasting has gone down. The Diva bomb is going to come out. Is it going to be able to get anybody? It does not. Sandman falls to Starflight, but Solnoctis is down. Frozen Scope falls before being able to pick the mech back up. It's Kripartic and Spike pretty much left, and Spike is now down. Sandman gets rezzed up, so with 3.5 minutes, the payload is stopped at this turn. And this is a place that the Playmakers can look to defend, look to hold. Starflight's going to get massively staggered there, and having the Riptire not available now for the Wolverines is going to slow them down a little bit. They have to come through this corridor, which with 3 ultimates available for the Playmakers might be exactly what they want. Victor could be looking for a massive Zarya ult if they want to set up. Kripartic falls again. Sandman finding a key pick as now they're just going to push forward onto the rest of the Wolverines, and the Riptire does come through. It does pick up 2 as Victor and the Brigitte fall. The res is going to come out to bring the support back. Wasting's going to fall meanwhile. Sandman picking up another. The Lucio ult comes through, and Italy falls to Starflight. And the Brigitte going down again means this push can get going. The High Noon comes out, picks up Sandman. He pays for his life, though, as Kripartic gets another kill. The payload is going to start pushing. Starflight is rezzed up by Haji as they just keep pushing through here. Kripartic picks up 1 as the Mercy is now down. It is 4 ultimates for the Playmakers when they can get back towards this fight, but we see Tracer taking so much damage, has to get away from there. Point 2, maybe forfeit. They're gonna try and get a defense going here. Wasting is coming around. Wasting actually picks up the kill. There's the Zarya ult gonna come through. Is there gonna be enough damage to help out with it, though? There gets pretty much nothing for it. There's a 2-man Reinhardt ult, and the Dragon Blade coming through from Kripartic, trying to find something back for this. Picks up 2 of his own to pull this fight back to even. Is still there. The Mercy ult came through, but wasn't able to get anything. Sandman getting a big kill on Noctis. Wasting's gonna fall as well, and Kripartic had a big Dragon Blade to pull the fight back to even, but the payload is still stuck there. As Frozen Scope's gonna get demech, should go down here. Gonna be whoever picks up the kill. It will be Jayza. Sandman's gonna fall to the Genji, and Kripartic is still trying to do whatever this Genji can to keep the point moving, keep the Tracer on, and Starflight's gonna pick up the kill, and an extended fight does go the way of the Wolverines. They finally get this second point. 3 minutes still on the clock to push towards this third and final point to complete the map and force a second run, but their time is already below what the Playmakers were able to accomplish the map in, so they're going to be at a disadvantage. They need to make a hard push. Wasting is just sitting on the payload, trying to keep this pushing. Riptire's going to come through. It only gets Victor and doesn't even take him out. That Roadhog is so tanky, and the Tracer Bomb doesn't stick onto anyone, not able to get anything, so ult for ult trade, neither really getting anything. And the payload's just continuing to push. It's in the final stretch. This seems like the fight. Starflight is going to get taken down by Victor, and that seems to be the go button for the Playmakers as they're looking to go in. Starflight is going to maybe try and get rezzed up, but they can't get to him. Kripartic is almost there. The Diva Bomb's going to go right onto the fight, not pick up anything, though. The payload is still pushing, though, so Noctis falls. Haji goes down as well, but two more members go down from the Wolverines. Kripartic is just trying to push them off, but he isn't getting anything from this Dragon Blade. He picks up Sandman, but it's only 1 right now, as that is not going to be enough for this Genji. As Starflight comes in, the hook comes through, but a beautiful play from Starflight keeps Kripartic alive for about half a second more, but now it's Starflight versus the rest of the Playmakers. It is going to go down. The stagger comes through. Minute 42 seconds. That payload is tantalizingly close to completing this and forcing a rerun of the map. But now you see the Playmakers feeling confident. They're pushing through. They have 3 ultimates, including Victor's whole hog, so they're going to feel a little bit like they can keep pushing forward here, keeping the Wolverines in this corridor. Tracer just trying to come in from behind, get damage. The hook isn't going to land from Victor, as Tracer's taking a little bit of damage, but not enough. Gets the bomb stuck, but that's a massive charge from Wasting. Picks up the kill, and a great ultimate. Picks up a few more. 3 members are down from the Playmakers. It's pretty much down to the tanks of Italy and Victor, as they can't get anything here. Starflight's gonna pick one up. Sandman is there, but Kripartic takes him down. The Genji's gonna win that duel more times than not, and now the payload has a free push towards the map. 54 seconds remain. It's now contested as Victor and Haji are just trying to get on point along with this Tracer, trying to delay this, do what they can. Brigitte is here, uses the ultimate to try and push them away. Starflight's Riptire is going to get taken down, so not having that to try and cause damage. The Dragon Blade's going to come out from Kripartic to try and get something. He's not able to get onto anyone yet. Finally does take down the Tracer. The point was moving down, but wasn't quite there. There's now a Pharah here from Sandman. Spike's going to be the one to fall as well, so Noctis falls. No res is available. Kripartic's going to fall. The Diva Bomb comes through, trying to force them off point. Victor and the Brigitte to fall, and it's a Man, a 2K Diva bomb, as now it's only Italy trying to stay there, is going to fall. Is that going to be enough? The soldier needs to get there. It is just 0.56 away, and the knockaway is enough. With only a few seconds remain, I think somewhere in the 20s, the Wolverines will complete the map and force us to go to a second run around. They are at a massive time disadvantage, but they can still make something happen. It's going to take an insane defense here. They are going to get the offensive first, so we're going to see what the Playmakers have to do in their 5 minutes. But a minute with a good offense, we saw it on the Playmakers' first offense. They can at least get the first point and start pushing the payload, and that feels like what they need to do at a minimum. If they have a similar offense to the first time around, not even able to capture the point would be disaster for their efforts in this map. They are going to look so far to a very similar composition to what they ran on their first offensive, and it did work in the end. It took them a few tries, but this is a bit of an adjustment coming out from the Playmakers, as Jayza has gone to the soldier instead of the tracer. Otherwise, you see Victor staying onto that Roadhog. It was working, in my opinion, a little bit better than the Zarya was on the defense, and I think either comfort or just the pick potential with that hook, or the tankiness that the Roadhog can provide rather than the Zarya, it was a more comfortable fit for the Playmakers' style. And we'll have to see what the offensive attempt is here from the Wolverines as they're going to come through. They ran through the middle after trying to go high stairs. They're going to take the long way around and try and maybe catch them off by surprise. They do have Karpartic on Doomfist. They do catch him behind, but the members are there. That's a massive fight on top. Spike's going to be the first casualty. Karpartic falls as well. And with wasting going down 3 members, this offense has already been pushed back. And that's not what they need with only 30 seconds. Frozen Scope is trying to go around and get onto the point, but good play from Jayza to realize going. So Noctis is going to fall as the Playmakers are just pushing forward on defense if they feel comfortable. Frozen Scope's going to get demeched. Baby Diva is in trouble. Doomfist is going to try and go in onto Jayza. Not able to pick up anything yet. Starflight's going to go down. Karpartic's going to go down as well. And with only 10 seconds to go, there's so few members remaining. Spike's going to fall, and it's only pretty much up to Wasting and Frozen Scope to try and get anywhere near the point. The charge is going to come in, but a great ult to stop him in his tracks, and they don't even get a tick. A great defense coming out from the Playmakers to full hold on that second round. And now they know what they need to do. They have 5 minutes to just get 1 tick of capture progress. If they can do that, they will take what was a fairly closely contested map after the dominating first offense from the Playmakers. But this is a tall task for the Wolverines. If they can make this hold, it will be almost legendary to start this series and keep them in this first map and not going into that 1-0 deficit. But the offense we saw from the Playmakers in their very first round was so strong. Giving them 5 minutes to get what they need from this point A is a lot of time, and it looks like even though it didn't quite work on the offense, they're going to stick with Karpartic on this Doomfist for the Wolverines. Very similar around Spike on that Lucio has been the hero of choice since switching off of that Mercy, so Noctis staying on the Mercy, and this is just continuing to be a little bit of comfort for what the Wolverines have run all season. Karpartic switching between Doomfist and Genji, Starflight staying on that Junkrat, and 10 seconds to go. It looks like we're going to see a small switch here from the Playmakers. Victor onto a Diva right now, unless that is switched away at the last minute, and Italy on the Winston, and Haji as well on the Lucio. A lot of changes coming through, but they know they have a lot of time to work with. If this does not work, they can just go back, reset. They have 5 minutes to make this work. The first pick could be huge here for either team. A bit of a scouting trip as Sandman's just going to try and get in. They know they only need 1 tick, and Sandman just trying to keep Karpartic busy. Karpartic goes off the high ground, is going to get chased down. Starflight actually falls around the side because they're just coming in from low, and they're on to point already. 2 of them do fall as Jayza and Sandman both go down, but it is a 5v4. Karpartic is going to fall, and now can the rest of them go? So Noctis needs to get a rest, trying to go for it, isn't going to get taken down. Karpartic is back in the fight, and that might stop them from pushing through. Spike is going to get taken down. The Diva Bomb comes through very early. One member goes down, so Noctis fell before the Diva Bomb killed. The Riptire comes through. Frozen Scope is going to get DMAC, gets taken down. It's pretty much only this Winston alive for wasting. He is going to fall, and now it's up to Starflight to try and delay. Gets one as they take out the Zenyatta, but the Tick Progress is going to Lucio coming in, just trying to keep them there about halfway, a third of the way on that Tick. Spike just trying to cause delays. Doomfist is going to fall, so no backup coming for the Lucio just yet. Now the Mercy's in, but Spike finally falls. Mercy is going to fall. Frozen Scope is on the point about halfway towards that Tick. Mercy is going to get, or the Diva is going to get DMAC, gets taken down, and now wasting just once again on that Winston isn't taking enough, and after a decently whole defense, the Playmakers are going to take the first map. That was very tense and close for those teams, but in the end, the amount of time the Playmakers got for themselves through that first offense is enough to carry them through and see them go up 1-0 in this series. And we see Cryptarctic, this Dragon Blade was fairly key because they were getting held pretty close on this first offensive attempt, and that really allowed them to claim point A, but it will be the Playmakers going up 1-0 in this series. And when we come back from a quick break, hopefully my co-caster Gorka will be joining us, and we will be heading to the assault map of Volskaya. Welcome back to this match between the Cordova Wolverines and the Alaska Playmakers as we head to map 2 Volskaya with the Playmakers up 1-0. I am now joined by the one, the only, Gorka.
Hello, Privyet. Nice to see that I'm back in the game. Update took a little bit longer than I expected, but now I'm here, and we're on beautiful Volskaya. You know, I just got snow where I lived, and now we're in a nice snowy little Russian town.
I was about to ask, is this what it looks like outside your window right now, Gorka?
Well, it's pitch black outside, so no. But yeah, no, there's a lot of snow around where I am, about this level, honestly. So yeah, and we see that the first game was, from what I've been told, mostly a very strong offense from the Playmakers, but the Wolverines were still showing, signs of life and, playing back. And now we're looking at both the compositions, and we see that who's on defense? Yeah, the Playmakers are on defense for starting round, and they're going to be picking an interesting comp. They seem to be going with a Bastion and a Vine, so we'll probably be seeing some play between that. And Sandman's on Sombra, which will probably mean that they're definitely going to try doing a little bit of flanking, defensive flanking. While we see that for the Wolverines, we see Sandman back there. Wolverines actually switched out Spike for Chuckle Sack, so we're going to be having a much more of an offensive support going into this match.
Yeah, and we're seeing the first little bits of a skirmish as Cryptarctic found where Sandman was. Sandman got taken pretty low up on the rooftops, is having to kind of run away from the start. But it's the jump in there from wasting. Victor is the first casualty. The Bastion going down. Cryptarctic is in the backlines as well as Starflight trying to find something. Starflight's going to fall to the Sombra, and now wasting getting onto the point as is Winston trying to force them off, trying to force them away. They are going down. Wasting is taken fairly low, but is still alive right now. Chucklesack dropping very low as well, but the Zenyatta the first one to fall, and now Chucklesack is going to go down. Italy falls next, and the res comes out from Haji, trying to keep the members of the Playmakers up and going as Haji's going to pay the price for the res. Cryptarctic does fall, and ultimate coming out from Sombra, and now they're pushing towards Jace is going to fall, but Noctis falls as well. Trey's just coming through and through. Victor trying to stay alive and stay up after switching to that Roadhog. Sandman's going to fall, and that is going to be a lot of progress on point A. It's only going to be one tick. They're not going to let him go yet. Victor's going to get taken down. Does DMAC Frozen Scope before going down, but looks like Gorka, we have a moment to breathe as they might just forfeit point A here.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot to unpack there. We saw that they were a real long fight. The Playmakers were doing a very good job holding it off. A bit late on the rest of the team of the Wolverines as the first Cryptarctic and Starflight rushed in, and they took their time to get into the point with them. But even then, it still worked out for them. Starflight was still alive when they pushed in, and they were just able to brawl it out, fight a lot. That wasting on Winston was doing a lot of damage. They were able to just take out Jazo and Hoofed. But now, obviously, the Wolverines are playing a lot more aggressively. We really want to just keep the momentum going. But it's a bit of a different playing field. There's a lot more ults on both sides of the team. We got Starflight on his Riptire, which Previous matches, I've seen him do a very amazing job with that. So let's see if he can pull those Riptires off now. And we also got, there's a lot of Salmon getting picked off. There's a lot of ults also on the on the Playmaker side. So this could be a very interesting fight we have on our hands right now.
Yeah, we see the Playmakers are up on the high ground. Victor just trying to do work as the D.Va. His second switch already. We hear the Riptire coming out. It is going to come around. It doesn't get anything, though, as Jayza is able to pick it up as the soldier. And they're just trying to dive on to the point. We hear the Dragon Blade come through, but Italy with a ult onto Starfight is going to take him down. Krabartik picks up the soldier in return and is still trying to get work done. Jayza is going to get rezzed back up by Haji, and now Krabartik falling. This is going to be the members of Wolverines falling pretty quickly. The D.Va Bomb comes out, isn't able to get anything, gets a little bit denied by both the shield and Hoof's ultimate as they take down Frozen Scope, and that will be the push repelled without a single tick going, Gorka.
Yeah, that was on the very first attack when Starflight, he tried to do his Riptire, gets immediately shut down. Then he jumps into the point, trying to get that, trying to do some damage, gets hacked by Sombra, taken out immediately. Then there was some play between the two ults. I believe I saw Krabartik take out a Dragon Blade and Jayza, bring out the visor. While Krabartik was able to take out Jayza, he was spending most of his Dragon Blade focusing on Jayza's ult, so he wasn't really able to do much damage on the point. And then there was a bit of brawling between the two teams, and really I feel like the ult timings were just better on the Playmakers. Not to say that the Wolverines were doing a great job. They had some very solid ults there, but it was just the Playmakers were just a little more organized, and especially that D.Va Bomb from Frozen Scope wasn't able to do that much damage because everybody really just, the Playmakers were able to react to that very well and just get behind shield and such. So all in all, I believe that while the Wolverines are putting up a really good fight, really good usage, really good teamwork and coordination, the Playmakers are just playing better, are able to get more damage out, and they're using their ults slightly better. So that definitely has given them more edge.
We're just seeing picks after picks come out. Krabartik got found behind the team and fell, and it left Wasting and Wasting just kind of in a bad spot, and so Noctis is getting taken down by the soldier. The hit scan, Jayza is just doing really well right now. Already half of the time they've had for this point has gone off of the time bank, and now we're seeing the D.Va from Photoscope just trying to jump in, is going to get demeched. Sombra's just backing away. It is 4 ults, almost 5 on the side of the Playmaker, so they're just willing to let the Wolverines push in towards them. Krabartik's taken really low, almost taken down, is going to get his health back, but is just kind of being chased around the flank that wants to be taken. Krabartik trying to get healed up, but is fairly alone right now and getting taken so low doing this. Winston's going to jump in the back. We hear the Riptire come through. Frozen Scope's going to be the first one down. Hoofed falls to the Riptire, but it only picks up the Zenyatta. Meanwhile, here comes Krabartik's Dragon Blade trying to find something. Wasting is going to fall. The ultimate from Sombra and the D.Va Bomb comes through. The D.Va Bomb picks up Starfight and Chuckle Stack. The Dragon Blade got barely nothing after Jayza is going to fall to Victor. 3 kills for the D.Va overall in this fight and make that 4, so Noctis falls. And once again, Gorka, the Dragon Blade just had to be used mainly to eliminate the soldier.
Exactly, yeah. It was, once again, we saw very much a very similar repeat of what happened, just with a more effective D.Va Bomb coming out of Victor. It was very nice. Right there, we saw what I'm noticing a lot from the Wolverines is that their players and their, especially Krabartik with Starflight, they're being a bit too separated. They're trying to jump into the fight, trying to get picks and opening kills, but they're just not really, committing to actually getting them and executing those kills well. They're not getting any picks, and they're kind of just being brought down to low health. Krabartik isn't getting picked off. He's still alive, but he has to fall back, and he's separated from the rest of his team, which is definitely not really giving the Wolverines the best entry to a point that they could get. You see, Starflight, he was all the way over in his hut, right on the opposite side of the point from his team, and he gets picked off. So now they got to wait on Starfight to get back here, and that's just killing time for the Wolverines. Honestly, I would like to see them push in a bit more together, especially with this, this Bridget ult coming in, and then the ults coming in. Actually, it would be very nice if everybody start pushing in. But it only seems that Wasting is actually doing it right now, and he's focusing mostly on Jazz. He doesn't get picked off there. That's not really good.
Yeah, Wasting used the ult, went in. They weren't able to get anything. It is the ultimate from the soldier in return, so they trade 1 for 1, but now they're pushed back. You mentioned Starfight got taken down before. Krabartik is trying to hold around. Haji is going to fall. A good kill from Starfight there, but Victor is just in the back trying to force Krabartik away. The D.Va can just run down this Genji if so chooses, and Krabartik is going to go down. Starfight, they know where this Junkrat is going to get taken down. The res is going to come up, so Kripartik is back in the fight, tries to get in almost towards Dragon Blade, might pull it out here if the Genji hasn't quite gotten there yet, was taken low, had to retreat. And with only 42 seconds left, needs to try and make something happen. Kripartik's trying to go in. Wasting is on the back line as well. So Noctis is going to be the first one down. No res. Kripartik falls as well. Wasn't able to use the Dragon Blade. And now Chucklesack's going to fall. Frozen Scope is going to get demeched here. Not going to be able to use the Diva Bomb. And Wasting going to get taken down as well. With only 23 seconds left, Gorka, they have to try and run to get back on this point. And Frozen Scope just so staggered.
Yeah, exactly. If Starflight can get this one Diva... Never mind. So, that one Riptide may have been their saving grace if the, Playmakers didn't respond. Also, right there, the 5 seconds left is definitely not making sense. Kripartik with the Dragon Blade just trying to do some damage, maybe open up the point for the rest of his team, but he's not getting any picks. He gets him hammered down by Italiex, I think that's how he says it, yeah. And certainly, just all the ults coming out from every single team, but none of them really doing any damage. And as we see that the Playmakers are able to just get all the kills and not do, just wipe the floor of the Wolverines. Honestly, I think the main thing that the Wolverines must have, made them a mistake on for this map is that, or at least this round, is that they weren't playing together enough. Like I've seen their play style before against other teams, and typically what they do is they always have Kripartik or Starflight make an opening pick, and then on that pick, they have the rest of the team push in, which is a valid strategy, but most of the time it works very well. The only thing is that the Playmakers, they're very good at sticking together, and they've always staying back, and most of their DPS are more longer range. They had I believe, yes, it was Jayza on the Soldier, and he was doing a very good job, just long range damage. And honestly, they would just maintain their distance, all the DPS, so they could stay together as a group. And because of that, Kripartik and Starflight weren't really able to get any of those opening picks, and then were separated from the rest of the team. So the Wolverines are obviously going to have to do a very different strategy here. If they just stick more together, and maybe I'm not really liking this lineup so much from them. Honestly, I would like to see a bit more of a, kind of a zoning defensive character. Right now, they have Starflight, who's, Junkrat with his traps and mines can push around the enemy team a little bit more. But I would like to see maybe Torbjorn or something like that, with his new ult. They could do a lot of nice zoning abilities, especially since... Yeah, we see... I mean, there's only really the Genji on Jay's on Genji for the Playmakers, but just... what I'm trying to say here is that if the Wolverines just stick together and manage to focus on just not letting or giving the Playmakers any ground, they definitely have a better shot in this round than they had in the previous one.
Be careful out there.
Yeah, and we're going to see the push-in going to come through immediately. They know they're in good position. Kripartik gets taken down immediately. Jayza with that first pick off on the Genji. The res is already forced out onto the Pharah, but now they're able to push in knowing that res isn't up. The shield is going to get taken down by Starflight just pushing through. They're going to try and both go over the top, but Starflight does land on the roof, may try and get something. Hoofed is going to be the first casualty as Starflight picked up the Zenyatta. The rest of the team, Starfight's gonna pay for it, and they're just kind of pushing around the side. They know where Kripartik is. Haji is gonna go down, but Kripartik falls. Sandman picking up 2 kills so far. They're getting onto the point. Italy is gonna go down to the Brigitte, and the charge coming in picks up Jayza. So first attack repelled a little bit, and it appears we have a player that disconnected from the game.
Yeah, so we're gonna be going to a pause now. But yeah, I just want to talk and just talk about that one little engagement. Honestly, this is what I was talking about. The Wolverines are playing a little bit more, closer. They had Starflight, open up and be a bit more aggressive, but we saw that the Playmakers, they started pushing in and they got a bit separated. We saw Italiex and Jayza push in with, I believe it was, Haji as their support. So we had 3 players moving in, but Kripartik, even though he did get picked off by Sandman at a distance, he manages to get rid of Haji before Italiex and Jayza are able to, get into the point. So with that really just cuts off supports and lets the rest of his team on the point, take him out, which is really good. They're separating the players of the Playmakers. If they continue with this, they can definitely hold on to this point much better. And it seems like they will be. They're staggering them a little bit. We see that Jayza tells to respawn victories, obviously, when he can actually be back in the spawn point. And we already see the Sandman is on point. Probably going to be taken out by Frozen Scope unless he's very careful. And Hoofed also is, they're all just very separated at different points of the map. So if they don't group together and continue with that strategy that they had before of grouping together, I believe that the Wolverines will probably have a nice shot here if they can just get a single pick set. Krupartik is known to be capable of doing.
Yeah, I mean, we did see Krupartik getting the early res could have been an issue, but the just togetherness, as you've been coining it, from the Wolverines was enough to stop them from pushing through, kind of getting separated in what was a split attempt from the Playmakers, getting 2 or 3 people onto the point, maybe causing some indecision from the Wolverines. They made the right choice, and yes, it's early to be talking about a hold, but with 3 minutes on the clock and the first attack being repelled that much, and the situation that the Playmakers kind of find themselves in when this unpause comes through, you have to feel like they might need to reset a little bit before they make their second attempt.
Yeah, that's true. And they have the time, actually. They still got 3 minutes, so they can definitely just fall back. If I were the Playmakers right now, I would definitely just tell Sandman, get back here, Hoof to get back here. Everybody just wait for the entire group to form a little death ball outside the choke point. It's not like any of the Wolverines have much in the way of ults. Like, everybody's around 50% at the most. It's like the average I see here. So it's not like they're going to be, lacking there. Like, Sandman's already at 74%. So technically speaking, in the ult economy, the Playmakers have an advantage. But really, you just have to fall back and just kind of reorganize themselves and just stick together. If they stick together, they'll be fine, honestly. Because you just can't let Krupartik or Starflight get those opening picks.
Well, we'll have to see if the Playmakers can come out of this pause and push forward for a potent offense. We are going to take a quick break, guys, while we sort out the technical issues for this pause. So make sure to stay tuned as we will return to the Playmakers continuing their offense on the second map.
Welcome back. We just sorted out our technical difficulty real quick, and Victor's already back in the game. So we'll be unpausing in about 3 seconds and to get back into the action. So let's see what the Playmakers are going to do now. You got Sandman already going back. Seems like they're holding a position more at the choke.
Yeah, it's kind of like what you said, Gorka. They are kind of backing away, trying to let the rest of the team come back up. So Noctis takes a big shot, taking a lot of health, but the Mercy's going to be able to res back up. Krupartik is just up, getting damage down on Sandman. The Hanzo ult is available if they want to try and push something through here. And they're coming around from the side, trying to find something. Starflight is there, is going to get taken down. Sandman with a beautiful snipe, I believe in mid-air on the Junkrat. And Krupartik's going to fall as well. The 2 damage is down. This is going to be the go button for the Playmakers. Krupartik comes back, so Noctis gets the res. But is it going to be enough? Wasting's taken really low. Wasting is going to go down. Hoofed does fall, but Krupartik goes down. And with still Noctis coming close to death, and Frozen Scope now just trying to force them on the point using the Diva Bomb. Is it going to be able to get anything? It will not. And it's just Frozen Scope left there, and this point A should be forfeit. It was a good attempted defense, but with both your DPS going down that early, Gorka, that's a hard fight to win. But this fight's not over yet. Starflight was trying to keep them on point. That's an interesting decision to contest the rest of this point A, as now it's not really going to cost them anything, but Starflight did die again.
Yeah, I guess it'll just be, they'll put his KDR a little bit lower, but who really cares? It was a nice attempt, honestly, just kill a bit more time, but in the end, it didn't really didn't bear any fruit. Yeah, I would definitely say that Sandman's shots at the very beginning were just crucial to that. He just took out both Krupartik and Starflight in some beautiful mid-air shots, especially on Starflight. That was nice. And that's also given them, with that amount of damage, has given the Playmakers more room with ults, although Sandman does get taken out first. With Victor, responding back to Krupartik.
Yeah, and we're going to see the ult come in here from Hashi, just trying to get the ultra coming around. The Dragon Blade came out somewhere from Jayza. It does get a couple. The whole hog, though, from Victor is doing all of the work. They only need 1 tick on this point, and now with Krupartik going down, it is clear a 2-0 in the blink of an eye. The Playmakers in the map.
Yeah, that was real quick, honestly. I was just about saying that they had the ult advantage. That would have been giving them a very nice, boost in the next fight, and it did. Honestly, that whole hog from Vic was just crucial to that defense. It just totally decimated. The offense. It totally decimated. There's a nice shot we saw from Starflight, from Sandman. So it just that whole hog really was what gave the playmakers room to move in and just completely pushed the Wolverines defense just away from the point. And those ults just did their damage. They did their work.
Excellent.
They didn't even really kill many. It just pushed them away, and with that, give them enough room to just go in and take control of the point and take the map. So really well done. I commend them on some very nice play right there.
Yeah, so Gorka, we've seen kind of both sides. The offenses have looked fairly good throughout this series. And now with us going to Oasis, a control map for what could be, the final map in terms of the series result without, obviously you have to play all four for map differential, but the Wolverines have their backs against the wall. Both offenses have looked good. This seems like a clash for control may be happening.
Yeah, I definitely am thinking about this. It's just that both of the teams have shown that they have very good offensive capabilities. They have a lot of good DPS players that just are very efficient at getting those picks. So definitely that'll be very important. I feel like the playmakers, the one weakness I feel like that could probably take down this strategy would be a stagger, since as we saw before when their players started to get pushed apart, and they have like two groups of three players on different parts of the map, the Wolverines are able to capitalize on that and do a lot of damage. So if they could get an early stagger on the playmakers in any of these rounds, that's a very good sign. And it seems like the playmakers are also very aggressive. So even when they do have a bit of like waiting on some players, they're still going to be at a more aggressive stance. So if the Wolverines, what I would like to see from them to pull this back would be, say, stay as a group and definitely be more aggressive as a group. Say you're on the university, when you're on that point, instead of playing on the point, you're playing around the pit. Definitely maybe play around the entry point, the choke. Try focusing on playing on the choke and just getting picks there and staggering the team. Maybe even falling back a little bit so that you bring some Alaska Playmakers players into the point so you can take them out and then have an even greater stagger. So if they can manage that, which will require a lot of coordination, but I believe the Wolverines could probably pull this off, honestly. And especially with the DPS of Kapartik and Starflight, they have to have the ability and the actual skill, mechanical skill, to do something like this. They just have to have the coordination.
Yeah, and we'll have to see, Gorka, how that coordination works, because with both sides subbing in players for this map number 3, Spike coming back in for the Wolverines in place of Frozen Scope, and with a player from the Playmakers also being subbed in, it's just going to be interesting to see how does that dynamic change on a control point where you've mentioned that first pick could be all important for getting the control of the point. And we've seen both teams, once they kind of control those points, they're dominating.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be very important. Just honestly, for each of these rounds, I would say look for the first team that gets the point. First team that gets the point can definitely hold on to it better. And if you just play aggressively, either team, they would definitely be able to hold it on for the whole 100%. Now, I believe that who was it that they switched out? I see.
The Playmaker switched out Italy for Tilter.
Okay. I don't think that would change their composition very much. But, so, wouldn't be too worried if I were on the Alaska Playmaker side. I know Spike is a healer. We see a couple picks coming out. I believe that Doomfist pick from Kapartik, let's see if that's an actual pick. Maybe going for it.
It is something they have played. Kapartik, when we're seeing him, it's either the Genji or the Doomfist. We've seen him pull out Pharah at times. I'm curious, like Kendi, you are, where Spike goes here. Right now, hovering Reaper, but it's a control point. There's like 15 seconds left. I'm not going to talk about anything I'm seeing on these hero picks right now, but it shouldn't change anything for Tilter coming through. Like you said, main tank, replacing Italy here. And we're just seeing the comps come out. I would love to see Victor on Hammond, but I don't think we're going to see the Wrecking Ball. And it actually is going to be Spike going on to a kind of third DPS here on that Reaper.
Hey, look, you got what you wished. Victor's going on to the Hammond right there. Honestly, I would like to see the Wolverines stick to this strategy, actually, because we can see that Victor is going in as Hammond, and we also see that Tilter is also going in as Winston, two very aggressive tanks. So if we continue seeing Spike on Reaper, DPS known for his just tank shredding abilities, we could definitely see an interesting play here, maybe an interesting, just denial of any sort of ground that Sandman, Tilter, or Victor could take.
Yeah, but this first context is going to be so big. Starflight flying in, trying to kind of find some ground here. Victor is, I believe, around, just sitting on where that point will unlock, and Starflight going to push a few of them off the top side, and Doomfish trying to go in. So Noctis, though, is the first pick as Sandman picks up the kill. Reaper is now in trouble as Spike could be looking to go down, barely alive right now. Now Kripartic is the target, being taken pretty low. Sandman is going to get demeched as Spike goes down. Hoof falls to kind of make the trade a little more even, and now Jayza goes down as Wasting picks up the kill in the first fight. As Chucklesack falls, this first fight's not over yet, but Kripartic getting the kill onto Tilter means that this fight is going in favor of the Wolverines, as they're going to keep trying to push them through. Sandman falls, Chucklesack is going to get rezzed up, and that might be enough. Victor is still around here on the Wrecking Ball trying to find something, is going to back away with his team, and first cap goes to the Wolverines.
Exactly. Spike, this is interesting there. I was saying that he would be very useful on Reaper as disrupting the tank control and disrupting the tank play. And I was right, but in the wrong way. Spike, instead of actually taking out the tanks, he actually kind of brought their attention to the outside of the point and, just led both Tilter and Victor away from the rest of the team, allowing the Wolverines to actually take out the supports and the DPS of the Playmakers, giving them the point. So...
Yeah, but the Playmakers charging in big, getting revenge here as we see 3 have fallen. Chucklesack's going to fall as well. So Noctis and the Starflight fell pretty early into that trade. Kripartic's going to kind of be the last one. They got 47%, but it is going to switch over. And with Starflight taking a staggered kill there, Jayza is going to get return killed. So at least there is a bit of a trade, but Starflight having Riptire, have to see if he uses it, as we're going to see them maybe charging right back in. Victor's getting in on them. The Pulse Bomb isn't going to land on anyone. They're coming around. Meanwhile, Victor's still trying to cause an issue. Sandman's taken pretty low versus Spike. Is going to get healed up because that is a Roadhog. Kripartic actually falls to Victor off to the side. Victor picking up the crucial first kill, maybe forcing them back away. But now Dragon Blade pretty much on top of the team as Jayza is looking for it. Spike's going to fall. Chucklesack and Noctis both go down to the Dragon Blade, and that is going to be just a pretty much wipe here, as Starflight and Kripartic are not going to come forward into this.
Yeah, no, at this point, the Wolverines really should just fall back and just group up, honestly. After a clear wipe like that, I don't know what Starflight's doing. He should just back up. And see, he gets, killed for his any attempts of hyper-aggression. So, yeah, that was just very well. I honestly feel like the Nano from Haji was a bit of an overkill for Jazz's, Dragon Blade, since already got all the kills it needed. But I don't think that's really going to bite the Playmakers much in the back. What I am seeing now that I like is that... Oh, wait, that might just shit. So never mind. That the Wolverines are trying to push in a bit more together, although, as I say, that Wasting does get slept on the point.
Yeah, Spike and Chucklesack falls. Kripartic picks up a kill, but still Noctis going down means no res. Kripartic going down again. Starflight had a Riptire, just not able to use it. Is going to fall to Sandman. Wasting falls on point, and 83% in ticking. This is going to be do or die point here for the Wolverines on this first one. They have to run towards, and it's just the Playmakers pushing forward. They feel confident enough that they can do this and not risk point. 93% in going. This is the go button. It has to be for Wolverines, as Spike is going to go in. Kripartic's going to charge in, try and get on to the point. Spike is there as the Reaper. They are on, but they're not able to get on in time, and point 1 goes to the Playmakers.
Yeah, that was just really well done with the Playmakers, especially once they got the point. They did what I was telling them to do in between the matches, and the map change, where they actually did push out and be much more aggressive and actually play right outside of the Wolverine spawn. Like, you saw Sandman right there on, next to the pillar, just, trying to hook somebody into the pit. Didn't really get anybody, but still that pressure that he applied kind of, prevented people like players like Chucklesack and Spike from actually pushing in. So definitely that extra aggression is what gave the Playmakers that edge and allowed them to take that first round. But now we're going right into this into nice, beautiful gardens, and we'll see if not much has changed. Well, actually, yeah, no, not much has changed in the composition for both teams, and we'll see how well this plays out. Honestly,
Yeah, we'll just have to see. First contact is about to happen. Spike did switch over to Zarya, but meanwhile, Victor kind of staying on that Tracer that was working towards the second half. Karpartik is getting on as the Doomfist is trying to get on to the point. There is going to get taken down, though. Victor picks up the first kill. The charge coming in, but isn't going to get much as Wasting's getting taken down. Solo is going to fall, and now it is just a lot of people going down from the side of the Wolverine. Starflight does get a res, Starflight goes down and the res comes out from Noctis, but all of the members of the Wolverines are paying for it, and the first cap in a clean team fight goes to the Playmakers.
Yeah, that was basically, I personally thought that the Wolverines were being a little bit too aggressive there. They were trying to push in. We saw Wasting just charge right into the group of Playmakers that were right in the corner and, taking a lot of damage because of that. So they weren't exactly too... I felt like they just weren't really supporting each other too much. And they just got killed off. Nice pick by Victor, by the way. And,
and that's going to be the go button, though. Sorry to cut you off, Gorka, but that was the go button for the Playmakers. Is they just charge in. They know that there was no Brigitte, and they say, okay, we're just going to kill all of you. As it is Spike running tail between the legs. They do pick up a kill on Jayza, but with 35% already ticked over and no progress really made towards the point, Playmakers are trying to make a statement.
Exactly, yeah, that hyper aggression for the Playmakers is really what's just allowing them to do it. They saw, as you said, there was no Brigitte with them, and they took the opportunity. They decided to rush in, do damage, and now they're doing a pretty good read on the Wolverines. They saw they weren't pushing in through the main choke, so they decided to check the left choke, and there they are. Now, obviously, they're ready for Wasting's attack. Starflight's Riptide is coming out. We'll see if that does any damage. I believe it'll only get, gets two people, Tilter and Hoof.
Yeah, and that might be go for the Wolverines as they're going to try for it, but the whole hog is going to pick up a couple for Wasting. Victor's pulse bomb gets Chuckle Sack, and the turn is coming through as Sandman and Victor are doing so much work right now. The two-man wrecking crew, apparently, from the Playmakers turn a loss into a win as they survive the two-man Riptire, and now it's Karpartik trying to stay alive, trying to get their 80% on the point and ticking. This feels like one more fight, Gorka, and it's going to happen quick.
Exactly, yeah. The Wolverines don't have much time to organize. They just got to push in. They don't really have any ults to work with. They got Wasting's Earth Shatter and Song Noctis, just being Mercy. So
Sleep gonna come.
Really, I don't think they're gonna have much of a chance. If Haji gets like a single good sleep, or they just manage to take out most people, this is going to be over, honestly. I don't think that the Wolverines are going to have that great of a shot to get it.
Yeah, and Victor already picking up too. The ultimate is going to come through from Hoof, just trying to keep him up. Jayza is going to fall to Karpartik, trying to keep his team alive in this fight. Karpartik trying to do what the Doomfist can do. Hoof is going to fall. The supports are down, but Chucklesack and Karpartik are down. Victor and Tilter are doing what they can. The ultimate coming through from Zarya, trying to do damage. The Riptire is going to knock out Sandman. It is still ticking overtime, and it is... Karpartik is going to get back up. Tilter is going to go down, and at the last second, they do switch the point across, so they stay alive for a little bit longer as Victor gets chased away from the point, and they're trying to push up a little bit more. They're coming right back in, though. They want more of this fight. Jayza trying to just poke around the side. Victor has the pulse bomb, trying to find an angle to use it as they're coming around from two different angles. Sandman just trying to get damage in. The tanks are coming in one side, the damage is coming in the other, and they're charging towards the gardens. Karpartik is up top trying to wait for him. Tracer's just going to go onto the point. They get the pulse bomb, gets two. Both supports are down, and that should be the go from the Playmakers as the ultimate doesn't get really anything for the Reinhardt, and Spike is going to go down. Wasting is down as well. It's pretty much down to the DPS. Karpartik's going to fall. Starflight shouldn't be too far behind. The point hasn't been flipped yet. The Junkrat trying to buy time. The point is flipped. Overtime is going to tick down, and that might just be it. They're trying to get towards the point, but it's not going to be enough. 3-0 in favor of the Playmakers.
Yep, I gotta give it to the Playmakers there. They were just, showing a lot of good mechanical skill. I felt that, I saw that a lot of times in fights, it didn't really boil down to anything like, first picks or anything about, alt usage. It was just pure mechanical skill. The Playmakers were just doing a great job, using their abilities, just getting those shots. Like Victor right here, he was amazing with those pulse bombs. Seriously, every single pulse bomb he threw down was getting, ahead and taking out people, and that's really hard to do with those pulse bombs. They're really just very finicky. So obviously, I commend every single Playmaker player because they were just able to get those picks, and even just being Victor and Jazza, they were able to hold down points against like 3 Wolverine players. So honestly, I really do believe that that the game did go the way of the better team, with the Playmakers getting that well-deserved victory.
It is a reminder, though, don't turn off the stream yet. We do still play all 4 maps. The Playmakers have taken the series, but the Wolverines can still take an all-important map as we look towards playoff and map differential. So we are going to be heading to the control map or the escort map, of Rialto next. And we've seen offenses kind of dominate. We saw the Playmakers just have strong offenses, especially on Nubani for that first point. What are we going to expect on really an offensive heavy map here on this escort?
I'm definitely going to say that I guess we're just going to see continued aggression from both teams. This is going to be a very important map for the Wolverines, because even though they already lost, the series, looking at the map differentials and such, they could be losing their second place positioning on the rankings, Delta, if the Delta Devastation, if they don't manage to pick up this map. So this will be very important for them. So the fight's not over yet. I would definitely say that both teams, they've shown their aggression on every single map. They've always been very aggressive. This is, as you said, a very offensive heavy map. So honestly, I feel like it still might go to the Playmakers, since of their mechanical skill. The map does require a lot of mechanical skill, since there are just plenty of choke points here, and most of the time when you just got to get through a choke point, it requires just getting those all important first picks. So
yeah. And Gorka, there is one big thing to look at here. Kripartic has been subbed out. Frozen Scope is back in for the Wolverines. So that Genji Doomfist monster that we've kind of seen sometimes be the last man standing isn't there for the Wolverines. Does that affect the dynamic on this defense?
Oh, totally, definitely. Kripartic was really their main DPS. He was the one that was just able to do a lot of damage and also just stay alive very well. Frozen Scope he's not bad by any means. He's also been very good, as I've seen him on Diva, very good at staying alive and running around. And I think he can still manage pretty good just from those skills that I've seen from him on Diva. He could probably manage a really good Genji. But I just don't know if that was the right call from the Wolverines. I'm not very sure what they're planning here. They kind of just have a very similar, composition as they've had before. So Frozen Scope switching out Kripartic, a bit unsure about that pick, about that choice. So definitely the DPS ability from the Wolverines, in my opinion, has gone down. I could be proven wrong. I'll love to be proven wrong, but I'm not having my hopes too high. Now,
yeah, it's an aggressive first defense though here from the Wolverines. They're pushed up pretty hard. They don't want to let the Playmakers out, but Sandman getting a big first kill onto Frozen Scope, taking that Genji down immediately. The Orisa shield doesn't matter when you can just shoot over top of it, and now Spike's gonna fall. Chucklesack is stunned up, is gonna fall as well. Sandman is going crazy on this Widowmaker right now. The charge is gonna come in, try to get something. Wasting isn't gonna pick anyone off though, as Tilter was who he charged. Starflight and Wasting both fall, and it's delayed the push a little bit, but Spike pretty much the last one alive. They're coming back up. Frozen Scope just trying to get in on their Spike is getting taken very low, so Noctis falls off to the side as well, as we're seeing the Genji from Frozen Scope try and run away. Taken pretty low, is going to stay alive for now, but a very strong offensive push here as Victor is just going to stay in everyone's face. Sandman picking up another kill. Chucklesack is going to be the one down there. Frozen Scope finally falls. Victor with a charge onto Wasting to take him down, and this first point is nearly forfeit already. Starflight's going to fall as well, as the members of the Wolverines are just dying one after another, and a almost non-stop first point here for the Playmakers, and they're not done yet. Frozen Scope gets taken down again. Sandman, someone stop this man, as we see Victor and Wasting go into the water together. The Reinhardt's going almost, I guess, as they would want. And now, as we're seeing Chucklesack try and stay alive as this Brigitte, the rest of the team is up top trying to help out. So Noctis just trying to heal where possible, but the Mercy is in trouble now. Gorka, this fight hasn't ended, as we see Starflight getting taken down again after trying to get onto Sandman. And now so Noctis is going to fall. The ultimate from Reinhardt not going to hit anything. The charge from Wasting just to get back towards the fight. Frozen Scope is going to get taken down. They're just coming to this point one after another. Spike falls. Now Wasting is around the side. No one there to help him. Kind of the last member going. This fight has just gone for almost the entire minute and a half 2 minutes of this map. Starflight's around the top, so Noctis coming around as well. The Rip Tower is going to come through, is going to pick up Sandman, finally try and get the stop there. The res was trying to come out. They're trying to protect Haji to get that res through. Sandman is going to come back up. Fights are going still off to the side. We see Tilter go down into the water. Jayza does fall as well. Frozen Scope going onto the Widow for the Wolverines, picks up the kill. So Noctis and Starflight going down, though. Battle Mercy is in full effect, but is it going to be enough? They're continuing to try this fight. Victor's charging in, and Victor's finally going to get taken down. I think we're finally going to see an end to this fight as Haji runs away, and the push almost to point 2, but is finally kind of stopped, Gorka.
Exactly, yeah. There's a lot to unpack in there. There's a lot of things going on. First off, we completely neglected to mention at the beginning of the match that the Sandman's, as Widowmaker. That was very important. We should have probably mentioned that because this map has a lot of long sight lines. So having a very good and capable, DPS aimer, as we've seen Sandman, on Hanzo before, just having him on Widowmaker was a brilliant idea. Now that kind of forced Frozen Scope to go on Widowmaker as a counter for a little bit, though that didn't work very well. So yeah, definitely just Sandman's Widowmaker was just allowing the Playmakers to just do a great job. Right now they're also getting, most of their picks from Sandman, allowing them to push onto the point. And now we have a lot of
yeah, and just more and more kills going down. Frozen Scope pretty much the last one left back on that Reaper. And the big thing here, the Playmakers, the Mercy isn't falling early. Haji has been alive to res anyone who goes down, and they're trying to fight back, trying to get in. Wasting is in the middle of the team, goes down though, so Noctis falls. Tilter falls forward, but Spike is now there alone, pretty much just with the Brigitte as backup, and they are getting pushed in on. Brigitte should fall shortly here as they have pushed already through the second point, and they're pushing for 3, Gorka.
Yeah, this was just very good ult usage. No, not really much ult usage, I'm sorry, but it's just, we see that the Wolverines are kind of just staggering a lot. They're just walking in groups of 2 and 3, trying to just stop and just have an opening for the rest of his team, for the rest of their team, onto the payload, which makes sense, obviously. But they just, as we've seen it before, that doesn't really work out. That hasn't worked out in any other maps. It's not working out in this map either. The Playmakers are just have better mechanical skill and able to take it out, especially with Sandman on that very, very scarily effective Widowmaker.
Yeah, and they're pushing in towards the final point. Wasting is going to go down, so Noctis does take down Jayza, but is going to fall. It's pretty much Spike trying to survive, and this time Haji is still alive, though the Rip Tower isn't going to get anything. Starflight and Frozen Scope both go down. Spike falls to a shot from Sandman, and they're pushing towards point 3. It's pretty much just up to Chuckle Sack to try and get anything. The Diva Bomb's going to come through to try and just push them off. Wasting is there, but is going to fall, and it is a very fast, very dominant offense yet again as the Playmakers complete the map.
Yeah, the Playmakers just held onto that payload and just focused on pushing it all the way. They've had built up a really good DPS. Where they had longer range DPS, which was capitalizing on the longer sight lines of the Alto. So obviously we're talking about Sandman going off, and Jazza as well was doing a great job of just attacking. And we also saw Tilter, playing as Roadhog and getting a lot of hooks and just being aggressive. So every single player on the Playmakers were just doing a great job of attacking and just getting their.
So Gorka, what do the Wolverines need to do on this offensive to match that? Because that's a very strong offense, and we saw in map 1 they can't really match with a lower time bank if we're forced to do a redo.
Yeah, to definitely create something similar to that, I would definitely say that one longer range DPSs. It doesn't exactly have to be a Widow if nobody's really that prepared or really that great at Widow. I saw Frozen Scope trying to switch off, but it didn't really seem like he was in his element while playing with her. So maybe just Hanzos or McCree's, so we're not really seeing that coming out of the Wolverine team. They're just sticking with their same composition they've been doing since the beginning of the season. So, yeah, that's definitely going to put them at a disadvantage, especially since Starflight, and even more so now Frozen Scope has switched over to Reaper, which is a more close range defense player, not attack defense, DPS player. So that's a bit iffy in my opinion. And I'll just say they should be really aggressive. I do see that the Playmakers are being way more upfront in their positioning for defense play. Seems like you're just relying on Sandman to hold the payload at the very beginning. So maybe Frozen Scope can take out some of these tanks, but it doesn't
Not really, as we're going to see the fight immediately. They had a good flank around on the side of the Playmakers, and they just charged in. They pick up 4 before you can blink your eye. The payload moved 10 meters, and Jayza is going to get taken down by Spike, getting a return kill. But it's just such an aggressive defense coming out so far from the Playmakers. This is getting similar feels to the beginning of their offenses. They're just willing to skirmish here and keep their Mercy alive and allow the reses to come through. Sandman is going to fall. Starflight picks up a key kill, is going to go down for it, but it is allowing the payload to push without that threat of the Widowmaker, and now just trying to get on to Hoof to keep him from just dancing around as Lucio, and now they're just jumping in onto the point. Spike is going to get hooked, not able to take down the Hog v Hog matchup though, as Hoof does fall to Wasting. The Rhine getting kind of a kill with that flame, but the hook coming through Wasting is going to get taken down by Jayza, and they're just pushing through the point. Hoof is going to get rezzed right towards the end. The ultimate, a beautiful ult combo coming in, results in 3 kills for the Playmakers as they push them back again, just push them back to their spawn. 2.5 minutes left on the offense already, and Wasting just trying to find something, get in onto Jayza, is going to get taken down. Haji is the one that's going to get that kill credit. The Reaper is around there. Spike picking up a kill. Sandman is going to pick up Spike, and now Sandman picks up Frozen Scope as well. So Noctis uses the res onto Wasting, and they're just trying to push through. The ultimate is going to come in from Sandman's Widowmaker to show where the Wolverines are coming from, and they're just willing to attack towards Frozen Scope. So Noctis falls, Frozen Scope falls as well. Tilter Tate's taken low. Haji is going to be taken down, so no res is up. Wasting and Chucklesack go, though. It's pretty much just this Riptire, and it is going to get taken down by Sandman. A beautiful shot, and we might get a chance to breathe with 2 minutes left to go, Gorka.
Exactly, yeah. They were just holding off a very nice shot from Sandman. They're just shutting down a lot of Starflight. Like Starflight was able to get rid of Sandman for a split second, but Victor was able to back up and, you know, get the trade-off. So really, that wasn't really capitalized on much, and we just saw, you know, Starflight get completely destroyed by Sandman. So really, every single action that the Wolverines are managing to do, every single thing that they can try to pick that they get is just getting matched with like 2 kills on behalf of the Playmakers. So
Yeah.
really, they just can't really match up with what the Playmakers are pulling off, and it's obviously having been told disadvantage. Sandman's just going off every time they step out of their spawn. They just get sniped in the head. So nice little response from Spike though, managed to take out Sandman. If the rest of the Wolverines can actually push in now that Sandman's gone, that'd be ideal, but it doesn't seem like they're doing that good of a job. Honestly, I would like to see Frozen Scope actually move in with Wasting, but it's actually Chucklesack that tries to make the first move, and Wasting already gets pulled off. Starflight's in the back trying to do some damage, but he's probably going to be picked off by Victor, knowing the previous record that they have. And there's already a Frozen Scope. Death Blossom that doesn't do that much damage. Tilted trying to do some, just push them back, and now we already have a pretty even standoff with 3 pointers.
The ultimate's going to come in though, as we see from Tilter. It does get 3. Spike is going to get taken down by Sandman, and I would like to point out, kind of through all of that, Gorka, Victor has been getting so many environmental kills with this hook. It is not mattering. Starflight gets taken down. 23 seconds left. They have to get out of their spawn. The payload has only moved 22 meters in this entire offense. Is Wasting, gets the charge in, but doesn't go on to anybody, and is going to get taken down by Victor. Tilter gets a kill into Frozen Scope, so Noctis goes down, so no res is up. 9 seconds left on this offense. The Riptire is going to come through. This feels like the last-ditch effort. It gets 2 as Jayza and Hoofs both go down. Who do they go for the res over? But they need to get onto the payload. Overtime is ticking down. Frozen Scope is going to fall. Wasting and Starflight are onto the point. It's pretty much just Starflight. The ult is going to come in, but Jayza with a 3-man Death Blossom is going to be enough maybe, as Noctis is going to now fall. Overtime is going to tick through. And yes, they are close to spawn, but it's going to be a full hold from the Playmakers to end this series 4-0.
Yeah, as Wasting says, it feels bad, man. It really was just a full hold. Very well done on the Playmakers. They were just completely shutting down every single play that the Wolverines were even attempting to make. And Sandman just going off as Widow. We saw Victor just, you know, doing his amazing job with those hooks, getting a lot of environmental kills. And really, it was just the Playmakers were just playing well. They were being the Playmakers, and they were just doing, getting the picks and making the plays and really just demolishing the entire Wolverine team. So,
yeah, a statement game from the Playmakers for sure, as they are finishing off their regular season with a 4-0 victory here on stream. Any last words, Gorka, as we finish off the regular season here for Overwatch?
I just wish the best of luck for anybody who has to face off Diamond Aftermath. Sorry, the Alaska Playmakers for this last for the finals because they're making it to the finals. So I feel bad for whatever team faces off them.
Yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in to the week 8 final week of the regular season with the Alaska Playmakers taking the 4-0 victory over the Cordova Wolverines. And make sure to follow us on Twitch and Twitter at official EGF for updates and announcements as the playoffs come near. And this season would not have been possible without the support of our sponsors, the Yukon Gaming Club, the Yukon School of Engineering, and Mob Crush. I am Victor Vic Sharp Watney, and you can find me on Twitter at the Vic Sharp.
Yeah, I'm Gorka. You can find me on Twitter at Gorka_man. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a blast. And stay tuned for tomorrow. We still have some Alaska matches playing for tomorrow. So if you want to watch the final matches of this season. Sorry, I'm sorry. The script was a bit off. No, sorry. There were no Alaska matches tomorrow. But still, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a blast, and we'll see you in the playoffs.